14 MLB games, game 7 in Montreal, Buffalo, game 1 in Spurs, OKC. What more could you ask for? Tune in and let's break it all down, baby.
Yeah, I'm so fresh like the morning. Mouth wide open like they yawning. Every time they see me, they in G-Shock. Homie, this is too far. Homie, I feel too alive. You can see me like Illuminati. You can see me like Illuminati. But I'm trying to...
Yup, you see me like Illuminati. All right, we're ready to go, baby. It's Monday, the 18th of May. We got two incredibly interesting playoff games. Game 7, Montreal, Buffalo. Game 1 of OKC Spurs. And we got 14 MLB games as well. I think I might be a little bit more selective with my official recommendations, with my props and stuff, because there's some stuff that is stuff that it's like no doubt, no brainer that I'm definitely liking. That stuff overall has been great. The other stuff, not terrible, but hit or miss. So we'll see how it goes. Of course, we got the comment section. We're going to have a good time talking about everything. Shout out to Super True Story. They see you like alumni? Oh, they see you like alumni. I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty cool. They see me like Illumina, which is cooler. But, you know, if they can't see you like Illumina, seeing you like alumni is a great second, a great consolation prize. No doubt about it. Although Illumina is better. No doubt about that. Shout out to Super True Story. All right. We got our notes here. Let me just tweet this out. And then we'll get into this. I think it's going to be a nice show. Definitely some interesting stuff. Gallen starting. He's been vulnerable. The Giants, I think they might get to him. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about everything. Here we go. Let's see. Let me see. All right, here we go. Oh, damn it. All right, here we go. Let me just tweet this out. Shout out to everyone. Get your notes ready. Okay, there we go there. Now they can, I tweeted it out like Illumina. All right, close that out. Got to get all our line stuff up. Shout out Swiggy. Shout out UNLV. All right, let me get all my notes. God, I got so much. I'm always just a little bit behind, but that's all right. We do always have a nice show. Some interesting weather stuff happening today in MLB as well. Some games that obviously affects my my pitching props. If I think there's a chance that a starting pitcher might get the game might be that there might be a delay in the middle, and then like Valdez, we'll see if he comes out. Not exactly sure. Let me get everything here, pasting and copying. All we go. All right, here we go. I know people are saying, Peter, if you were really that smart, you'd have AI doing this all for you just at the beginning. I know. All right. I know. One day I will be that smart. Very soon. Maybe next week. Not this week, though. All right. We got everything here. Everyone in the comment section. Swiggy Bets. We got everything going. Pinnacle. Yeah, I got it. All right. I will get AI to hook my shit up at 4:55 p.m. Eastern time every day. Let me just I like to get the live lines for Pinnacle here. Let me pull that up. Sorry. Take a little bit of time. And then we'll dive right in. All right, let me just get that. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. All right. I will have a better strategy, a better system. Very, very soon. Coming up. Very soon. All right. Where is that? Shout out to everyone in the comment section. Having a nice time here on a Monday, on a hot, lazy, easygoing Monday here in sports betting. Yeah, I really don't know what to think about. I guess I'd have to be leaning Buffalo in the Montreal game, even though Montreal's a scary team to bet against. I guess at home. We'll talk about that. But I guess you got to be thinking Buffalo would pull it. At minus 140, I wouldn't take it. But at like minus 115, minus 120 or so, I think I'd have to be leaning Buffalo, even though I kind of in my contest and stuff, I picked Montreal to get past them, kind of like a contrarian play. But there you go. All right, now we got everything. All right. See the comment section. Shout out AM. Yeah, AM says Sabres tonight. Yeah, at minus 160, no way. At like minus 120. How could you not? Shout out Gorky with NBA stuff. Dodgers. Oh, okay, and Gorky likes the Oh, Sabres and Thunder money line. All right. Let's see. Oh no. Wait a minute. My stream isn't working. Let's make sure everything's good here. All right. Gotta make sure my shit is working here. All right. I don't know what's going on here. Might be a little slow. All right. Let's just stop wasting time and let's get into it. MLB. First game on the card, Atlanta, Miami. Richie against Max Meyer. We'll see where this line moved, but on the overnight, it was pretty even on both sides. Total was 8.5, juice to the under. You know, Atlanta, obviously, excellent, great. Just won 4 of 6 at home. Now they go on the road. Miami lost 2 of 3 at Tampa Bay in their last series, but I guess you give them some credit for at least winning one. And, you know, in general, I guess you give a small starting pitching edge here to Miami with Meyer. Overall, he's been pretty good. Last start was that start at Minnesota, which is where he's from, and he did give up runs. Also got 9 strikeouts there. Now he's back home against a tougher lineup. And Richie, not bad overall. Not great so far, but not bad. Has some high upside. Real issue with walks. And the question is just how much of an edge do you give Max Meyer, if any edge at all, versus how much of a team edge do you give to Atlanta? And is it worth taking a shot with, I don't know, Miami first 5, Atlanta full game? I am a vague believer in Richie, kind of. So with dog lines, with his props, I do take shots with him. And I did take a shot with Richie over 15.5 outs at pretty big plus money, right? Like plus 130. And also a lean to Richie over 4.5 strikeouts at big plus money as well, plus 125. Even though he struggled recently, you know, definitely been struggling, but I'm sure they're working with him, and he should be able to figure something out at some point. Top set is heading to the Marlins game. Wow. All right. So tell us what you think, man. Nine Legacy says Habs bring it home, baby. All right. All right. Okay. Let's see. Gorky says all is good. We see you. No one makes me feel seen more than Gorky. He makes me feel seen. All right. Let's see. Let's see what I want to make official here. Let's see. Yeah. So it looks like the Miami is a tiny favorite right now. Total right about where it was when it opened. I do kind of like Richie just in general, kind of, you know, 15.5 outs. That's definitely borderline, but it's something that I did take a shot with and I'm leaning towards. Let's look at the market and then we'll move on. Looks like 3/4 of the bets here on Miami. And yeah, nothing just bounced around. Nothing really notable. Let's see where the when the limits opened. Yeah, nothing really noteworthy on the line. I mean on the money line on the side. Tiny market move favoring Miami as of right now, but nothing too eye popping. And kind of the same thing with the total. Oh, no, bigger, yeah, about a pretty clear market move to the under from opening, and at Chris, about a 10 or 15 cent move to the under from opening. Now it's juiced to the under. Although recently, or at like 2:30, it took some money back on the over. So you know, nothing really clear market wise as far as the total is concerned about in this one. And again, I'd be thinking maybe a shot with lean Richie over 4.5 strikeouts, lean Richie over 15.5 outs, but those are both definitely leans, and 15.5 outs plus 128. You know, I'd probably make bigger bets if the if the whole percentage weren't so high. And wow, look at that. Richie strikeouts at Pinnacle now 3.5 minus 166. I'll make that official. I don't know. That's very tempting. Or I'll keep that one as a lean though. Richie over 3.5 strikeouts minus 166. Lean over 15.5 outs plus 128. Lean, and that's about it. Don't disagree with the move to the under. Small move to the under. And then let's move on. All right, then top set likes up Braves first 5 team total under. Okay. So top set a believer in Meyer, which I am as well, vaguely in general. I had his strikeouts prop in his last game. Swiggy Bet says evenly. Oh, shout out to you, Gorky. Look at that. Now he's making me feel seen and paid with the $2 dono. Shout out, Gorky. All right, let's see. Tone Megan, shout out. Levels play of the day is Spurs money line. All right, well, there's an opinion for you. I mean, yeah, they won 4 or 5 in the regular season. Now you're getting almost 2-1 on your money. I hear you, Tone Megan. It's scary. Oh, shit, not Flush 16. It's not Flush Jr.'s birthday. Jimmy already gave him his birthday pick. Now he needs one from you. All right. Okay. That'll be tough. I'll think of it. Oh, it won't be tough. I'll think about it. I'll keep that in mind the whole show. I think there is There is something that I'm liking. I forgot which game it was. There's something I'm liking enough, like a first 5 on money line. All right, let's move on. Now, oh, this is it. All right. Baltimore, Tampa Bay. Trevor Rogers against McClanahan. This is another one. A lot of times when you like, maybe I shouldn't overthink this. There is something you should think about more. McClanahan versus Rogers, maybe not, right? Rogers really gotten hit his last 4 starts. McClanahan, 4 straight shutout starts, 21 and 2/3 innings, shutout starts in a row, lots of Ks, no walks, few hits, everything's great. Of course, in general, Tampa Bay, an extraordinarily impressive team. Baltimore, okay, but a bit subpar. Add it all up. And why would you not take a shot with Tampa Bay first 5? And that might be Nutflush Jr.'s official play here, even though it's going to be a big favorite line. So maybe I should make it a parlay or something. But that one I hit, even though it's extraordinarily obvious. Didn't really question it though. Let's see where this line. Oh wow, has the line moved in Baltimore's favor from open? Is that true? Okay. I mean, look, McClanahan isn't going to be lights out forever. Rogers, of course, has some upside that could show its head. But look at this. All right, yeah. So Tampa Bay at Pinnacle right now, it's like 135 on the full game money line and minus 165 on the first 5 money line, which is exactly what I would expect there. Shout out to a Nutflush Jr. And then AM says Rays can't hit lefties. Okay, yeah. I mean, but in general, they're a team that gets shit done, and McClanahan is obviously very impressive. No, I feel you, AM. There's a reason not to, but then you look at the split here in the market, and I can't not do it. All right, I'll make it official, although maybe it won't be Nutflush Jr.'s birthday pick. Tampa Bay Rays first 5 money line minus 164, and if it loses, okay, I can understand. I can see it. It could happen. Then the other stuff here, also. I took a small shot with McClanahan over 15.5 outs. Of course, he doesn't go deep a lot of the time, but 5 1/3, 5 2/3, 6 is certainly possible at plus money. Let's see where that one has moved. Yeah, wow, a big move there. All right, oh man, all right, I'll take it anyway. That's an official play. McClanahan over 15.5 outs plus 134 Pinnacle. Don't love to see that. The move that in that direction so strong, but okay. Yeah, so the two official plays. There's reasons why they might be shitty plays. AM has given an opinion on it. Let's see. Gorky likes Jay's money line. All right, we'll talk about that in a second. Let's just look at the market here for this Tampa Bay game. Yeah, and it looks like it has moved a little bit in Baltimore's favor. At Chris, let's see when that happened. Yeah, tiny move, but still. Not in Tampa Bay's favor. That's for damn sure. 3-cent move from opening at Chris to the Orioles' favor, and it got all the way up to minus 160. Look at that. Got all the way up to minus 160 before the limits opened at Chris. That's scary. Got all the way up to 160. Then it came down still before the limits expanded out. And then when the limits did open up, it got hit again. Down. Look at that. Wow. All right. Yeah, Baltimore might be the play here. Look at that. When the limits opened to Chris, on a 10-cent move, got hit down. All right. There you go. There's your answer as far as the sharp money is concerned, or at least as far as the limit opening movement is concerned at Chris. And the total has gotten bet down about 10 cents from opening. So apparently, the market in general thinking that Rogers won't be that vulnerable here. All right. Interesting stuff. Tell us what you think. All right. Well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make McClanahan outs over, 15.5 and the first 5 Tampa Bay money line official. Can't not do it, but definitely the market movement. Very, very, very scary to me. Very scary to me. All right. Let's see. Yeah. What else is interesting from this one? Yeah. I was thinking, maybe lean to Rogers under 16.5 outs at minus 111. Okay, that's it. We'll see what happens. Next game on the card, Cincy and Philly. This is another one that might be no-brainerish. Lodolo, of course, starting for Cincy. He got hit again in his last start. He so far does not have it yet in the majors, coming back from the blister injury. Painter on the other side for Philly. Vulnerable, but his last start was a good one. He has high upside. He gets crushed when he gets hit hard. When he's not on his game, he gets crushed. And but he does have high upside, of course. Very good hitting weather here. Cincinnati in general, not terrible, but a bit iffy at the moment. And Philly, we know what their deal is. They're now back from a 6-game East Coast trip, won 5 of 6 of those. And since the switch to Mattingly, they've just been a friggin' train. Almost Tampa Bay like. Almost, not quite, but almost. That's how good Philly has been since the managerial change to Mattingly. So I definitely took a shot with Lodolo under 16 and a half outs. It was minus 108. Now I saw that it moved, in my favor about 20 cents. So that was nice to see. And once again, had to be leaning, Lodolo over 2.5 earned runs, even, and just no brainer style running the first and first half over, and probably lean full game over as well. Let's see what the comment section has to say. And if, let's see. AM says Reds lineup is on fire. This lineup's on fire. And the Reds over both look nice. Yep. Gerald Jones, shout out. Best bet Tampa minus 140. We'll see. I feel you, but the market certainly some pressure on the other side. Let's see where this line moved, and then we'll make some decisions about what to make official. Definitely a market move in favor of Cincinnati. Well, not overall, but a recent market move in favor of Cincinnati. It opened right where it is right now at Chris, but from when the limits opened up, it moved in Cincinnati's favor. Not hugely, but significantly, a bunch of cents down that. Whoa, that actually got down to wow, it almost got to Cincinnati being the favorite at like 3:00, and then it came back the other way to Philly. All right, so some significant U-shaped movement here in favor late money of Philly, but the post limits opening money in favor of Cincinnati. And then let's look at the total. See what happened with the total. Yeah, of course, the total has gotten bet up since opening. Very nice hitting weather here. Gotten bet up. Full half run. Now it's up to 10. Juice to the under, but it's still there. All right, so let's see. Cincinnati and this game. What would the first 5 over be? Let's see. Total first 5 at Pinnacle. Yeah, 5 minus 130 or 5.5 minus 101. Yeah, I mean, should be good hitting weather here. Both these starters vulnerable. I'll make that official recommendation. First 5 over 5 minus 130 current line Pinnacle. First 5 over 5 minus 130. Running the first inning also I think is okay. And we'll take that one as well. Official running the first inning minus 122 current line of Pinnacle. Then Lodolo, I did bet his outs prop, which has moved a bit in my favor. All right, we'll yeah, sure. We'll take that one. Under 16 and a half outs, minus 121 for Lodolo. Make that one official. I know that that AM like in Painter to struggle a bit here against Cincy to have a big game. I definitely don't. I also had a definitely lean to Painter over 4.5 hits at minus 141, and I might make that one official as well. Oh, now it's up to 155. All right, I might have to check old Caesars here to see. All right, but yeah, in general, liking Lodolo to struggle should be big offensive weather here, helping things out, and then we'll move on. I'm just trying to see. Let's see what. Probably both team total overs are good. Probably I don't know. Feels pretty coin flippy, all things considered. So maybe a Cincinnati as a small dog would be a lean, but then again, I really would feel comfortable fading Philly here. All right, I'll just make the Painter over 4.5 hits a lean, and then we'll move on. Tell us what you think in the comment section, baby. Let's see. Here we go. Lodolo Painter. Oh, damn it! I gotta find the game. All right, all right. We'll look at the comment section one more time, and then we'll move on. Jermaine says it feels like 100 out here. Yeah. AM says both teams are hitting well. I prefer the over more than the side. Absolutely, I agree with that. Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Of course, I agree with that. All right, let's see. Damn it. I really want to give the Painter over 4.5 hits at just minus 141. Something I did bet. And it's like if he gives up that many hits, and of course his earn run props and the team totals and everything, we'll just keep it there. Keep it simple. We did take the Lodolo one official. First 5 over, first run in the first. over, and then everything related to it is like a lean. The painter hits over, both team totals. All right, let's move on. Next one on the card: Cleveland and Detroit. This one is tough because weather could come into play. They might, from what I'm seeing, it's possible that they'll, hold the game off and have like a late 8 o'clock or 8:30 start, or they might start it and then there might be a delay in the middle of the game. And I didn't check the last up to date weather report to see what's likely to happen here. But so this is a tough one. Valdez, of course, had a great bounce back start. Not great, a very nice bounce back start against the Mets after a bad start in his last one. He got 7 strikeouts in that one. I had a strikeouts prop over. And on the other side, Ciccone for Cleveland, very up and down, high volatility. His last one was great, more often bad than good, but definitely his last one was great. In general, I like the under here. Detroit, a pretty big favorite, and of course, Cleveland rolling. They've been winning recently, and Detroit not hitting, not very good right now, but they're a big favorite because of Valdez. So I would be, as far as the money line is concerned, it'd be Cleveland or nothing. But I'm not going to pull the trigger on that. And then the possible rain adds into that. But I definitely have liking Valdez under 2.5 earned runs, even at a big favorite line. And even his under 5.5 hits at like -118 as well. And just in general, the under on the game. Let's see what. Oh, here we go. Sorry. All right. Let's see what people in the comment section have to say. Nothing on this one as of yet. Yeah, just because of the weather, it's very dicey here. The line has moved a little bit in Cleveland's favor from opening, which I understand for sure. Cleveland definitely the better team, although they don't have the better starter, although they don't have the more consistent starter. If Ciccone gives one of his 33% excellent starts, then absolutely it's a wash starting pitching. But it's less likely that he does than Valdez does. And then the total, total's tiny move to the under, although a late bump back to the over. So definitely a lean to the under. I don't know if I want to make that official, but maybe I will, though. Nah, I'll just keep it as a lean. Under 8 -104. That's definitely a lean, not an official play. And definitely a lean to Valdez. Team total, earned runs under 2.5 at like -160. Where that? Yeah, -156. I'll make that official. Maybe he'll go 3 innings and give up nothing, or give up 1 or 2, and then there'll be a delay, and then that cashes. So under 2.5 earned runs for Valdez, under 2.5 earned runs, -156, and the full game under 8 -104. Yeah, we'll make both of those just leans, not official plays. Look at the comment section, and then we'll Guardians, and lean AM's leaning Tigers are just too expensive. Yeah, and then add in the weather. Just gonna get past me as far as the money line is concerned. All right, next game on the card is Mets, Washington. Christian Stott against Irvin. Another game similar to the Philly game where, good hitting weather. Mets definitely, well, not definitely. Mets are putting it together now. Definitely a starting pitching edge to the Mets. But overall, because of the weather and adding everything up, it would be Washington or nothing as a dog here. The Mets, of course, coming off of the series against the Yankees. They won 2 of 3 on that one, and 5 of 6 on that homestand. Now they go on the road. And Washington, shitty, crappy pen, but actually pretty good in general. They won 2 or 3 against Baltimore. They've been winning more often than losing last 10 games or so. And it's mostly because when their offense shows up, and this is a game where that's likely to happen. I definitely took a shot. Irvin, last 3 starts gotten hit hard, overall vulnerable. And I definitely did take a shot with Irvin under 15.5 outs at a big favorite line. And now it's an even bigger favorite. So I don't know if I want to make that official, but I did take that one. And I also take a shot, careful, but I took a shot with Scott over 4.5 strikeouts at plus money, even though he'll probably be vulnerable offensively. He might come in 4 innings, give up 5 runs, and still get 5 strikeouts. So, Scott is very impressive right now. So I did take a shot with that over 4.5 strikeouts at small plus money for Scott, and Irvin under 15.5 outs at big plus money. And then, in general, liking offensive weather here, maybe Mets first 5 team total over, something like that. We'll look at the market moves and look at the comments section. We might have to pick up the pace, I think. I'm not sure. We'll see. Let's see. So the line has, a pretty big, huge market move in favor of Washington, which, at plus 125. Washington nothing. Now it's down to plus 104. I guess it's a coin flip, so I'd still have a tiny lean to Washington, even a plus 104. Not going to bet that one, though. A clear, huge market move towards Washington. And then the total, let's look at the total here. Yeah, total, of course, now up to 10. Almost a half run, opened at 9.5. Now it's up to 10. Let's look at some of these. The Washington team total over 4.5 minus 109. That's interesting. The first half team total. The Mets team total over first half 2.5 minus 116. Irvin definitely should be vulnerable here. Let's see what his outs prop is right now. Minus 175 at Pinnacle. Damn, that is dropping. I felt nervous taking it at 154. Now it's down to like minus 170. All right, I'll make the 170 a lean. That's not an official play, but that is definitely still a lean. Irvin under 15.5 outs at minus 170. Not an official play at all. Just too big of a favorite line, but it is a lean. I took it at a minus 150 line. That's for sure. And Scott over 4.5 strikeouts at plus 106. That's dicey, but I'll make that official. Over 4.5 strikeouts at plus 106. Score line of Pinnacle. I'll make that official. And in general, feels like the Mets, the market's moving in Washington's favor. But Irvin should be so vulnerable, shouldn't he? He really should. This guy, Irvin, should be vulnerable, shouldn't he? All right, I'll also take a shot with Mets first 5 team total over 2.5 minus 116. First 5 team total over 2.5 minus 116. We'll see. Jermaine says Jake Irvin got a bad beat last start, first inning. Yeah, overturned case. Yeah, Irvin. A lot of times I'm taking Irvin strikeout props over, even when I expect him to be vulnerable. But it's just this is not a good spot for him to bounce back here. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. All right, next game on the card, Toronto and Yankees. Pat Corbin against Weathers. Tell us what you think. Comment section. This one, I did take a small shot with Corbin under 3.5 strikeouts at plus money. And I didn't bet it, but it would have to be Toronto or nothing at the line. The Yankees, of course, what's going on with them? They were absolute juggernauts, winning game in and game out, and by big numbers, 9-4, 8-3, 10-1. And then they went on the road, 2-7 on that trip. And the Mets series wasn't good. And now you got Toronto. So now the Yankees are back home. Toronto won 2 of 3 at Detroit, all low scoring. Toronto, a nice little team. They can't really hang with the elites, but against everyone else, they seem pretty good. Now they're getting a huge number with Corbin starting. And what to expect from the Yankees? Are they going to return to their juggernaut ways, or are they going to stay to what they were doing on the road? I'm not exactly sure. I did take a shot with Corbin under 3.5 strikeouts at plus money, and everything else just a pass. Definitely, it would be Toronto or nothing at the line. Let's see where this line moved. Where is it? Let's see. All right. So it's moved. Yep. Wow. A huge move in Toronto. Wow. Look at that. Almost a 30-cent move in Toronto's favor. And let's see when that happened. Yep. Yeah. And after limits expanded. Not immediately, though. The first jumps were not big, but then there was a huge one at like 10:30, which is pretty interesting. That didn't happen earlier than that. But all right. And then the total, understandably, kind of right where it opened. A small move to the over. I don't really trust Corbin here that much. All right, maybe I'll look at the Corbin line and make that official. What's his strikeout line right now? Strikeouts. There you go. Oh wow, geez, plus 102 at Pinnacle. So it's headed down. All right, I'll make that official, I guess. Corbin under 3.5 strikeouts at just plus 102. I'll check Caesars and something. If you check the rec books, probably you can find a better line on that one somewhere. But all right. I got 123 on the overnight. I got an early one. Now it's 102, which is not great. Got to keep a brisk pace here. Let's see. 106 at Caesars. All right, I'll take that. Plus 106 for Corbin. Definitely heading in that direction. AM says too expensive for Yankees. Yeah, no doubt about it. I'm not going to take it at the current line, but it was definitely Jays or nothing at the opening line. All right, next game on the card, Boston and KC, Gray against Lugo. This is another one where there might be some weather issues. The game might not finish. I think it's going to start at the appropriate time when it's scheduled, but there might be some some rain late, and this might be one of those games that doesn't go 9, but winds up being official. Gray against Lugo. Lugo's gotten hit last 4 starts after 5 great starts of the year, and Gray 2 nice starts in a row. Can get hit. Overall, still seems good. His strikeouts are not there, and I did take a shot with Gray under 4.5 strikeouts at like minus 140, minus 145 or so. I think it's gone further down. Boston, of course, lost 2 of 3 at Atlanta. They're really not hitting right now. KC back home, they lost 5 of 6 on their trip. They were kind of close though. They did win their last one. So my lean here would be to KC, even though Lugo has been crappy recently. I did see the Lugo versus Gray strikeout matchup, and Lugo at minus 165 looked interesting to me. I have a lean to Lugo over 4.5 strikeouts, and I did bet Gray under 4.5 strikeouts. So, leaning KC, and I'm guessing that this game was very high possibility that the game doesn't finish. Let's see where Gray's strikeout number is now. Oof, yeah, all right, minus 158 for Gray. All right, I'll make that official. 158. I'll quickly check. I will quickly check Caesars to see if I can get a few cents better. I got it at like minus 140, but I guess I'll take that. Gray definitely, crafty veteran, not necessarily getting strikeouts, and I like Casey here on the money line. Let's look at the market, see if the market did anything. Tell us what you think about this interesting one. Yeah, not much movement at all, which is what I would expect. Early movement was towards KC. Yeah, just kind of bounced around. Nothing of note. And the total, just because of the weather, I'm assuming not much movement. Yeah, almost no movement from opening, which is what I would have expected. All right, so just those opinions. Jermaine likes the under, yes, but it'll have to go full game if it goes under, which might not happen. Shout out Justin McKelvey. Shout out Justin. But what do you think about tonight, Justin? I have no clue. I have no friggin' clue. The total or the side. I guess under, right? I guess Spurs getting that many points. I have no clue. I have no friggin' clue. All right. Let's see. Next game on the card in MLB will be Houston and Minnesota. This is a tough one. Imai starting for Houston, and then Minnesota, I'm seeing an opener Rojas, and then they're going to have Woods Richardson as the primary. This is another one where there's also some issues. So this is a total pass for me. My only thoughts were maybe Imai, when he's good, he can get some strikeouts here. You can get strikeouts here and there. So maybe a lean to Imai over 4.5 strikeouts at plus money. Maybe Imai over 14.5 outs. But in general, this is going to be a pass for me. Woods Richardson, very, very vulnerable. And Imai is pretty vulnerable as well. He had one great appearance, but the other 3 were terrible. And then you got an opener, and then you got rain coming in, and then you got 2 teams that lineup-wise are kind of similar. So this is a complete pass for me. We'll check to see if the market had anything to say, but total pass for me. Let me know if you say yeah, almost. Well, okay. I mean, overall no movement, but early in the morning it got all the way up to Minnesota minus 120, and now it's down, crashed all the way down back to a minus 106 on both sides, which is pretty much where it opened. So that's interesting. And when the limits opens, not a little bit towards Houston. All right. Free play, I put it on Houston just because of what the market seems to be saying. I would agree with that. Free play, I put it on Houston. I'll even make that an official lean, but definitely not an official bet. And the total gone up a little bit from opening, which is understandable. Imai and Woods Richardson both questionable at best. Okay, lean Houston because of what the market is doing, but no bet. All right, Jermaine says, check what I said about the Red Sox. Wow, there's too many pitchers are on a 19-2 under run. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think Lugo's more likely to have a nice start here than Gray for sure. Again, I like Lugo over 4.5 strikeouts, Gray under 4.5 strikeouts, and I'd be leaning Casey on the money line as well. Okay. Next game, let's see. Where are we? Okay. Boston, KC. All right, next MLB game on the card is Milwaukee and the Cubs. Tell us what you think. Sproat against Imanaga. Imanaga, of course, great so far, but he is a fly ball pitcher, and it's good hitting weather at Wrigley here. And then you have Sproat on the other side. 3 nice starts, 5 not so good starts so far. He should be vulnerable here as well, despite the fact that the Cubs are scuffling. Milwaukee lost their last game at Minnesota, but before that, they've been rolling. Cubs are back from a trip. They went 3-6 on that trip. They lost 2 or 3 at the White Sox, although the White Sox have some real life to them right now. So this one, again, got to be thinking over. I definitely took a shot with Imanaga under 17.5 outs, like plus 130. He's great, but with this weather, he could get touched. So I did take a shot with that, even though, in many situations, Imanaga is a great bet to have a great 6-inning start. I did take that one, though. Here, let me close out that one, and then let's see where the odds are right now for Imanaga. I mean, that's iffy. He's going to have to get touched. He's not going to have he's not the kind of, even though he gets a lot of strikeouts, he's not the kind of guy who, even when he gets hit, he tends to go 6 innings. So we'll see. Yeah, plus 129 at Pinnacle still. All right, let's see. We'll see what happens. Let's see what happens. Yeah, so again, and then Sproat, I was thinking he's very likely to be vulnerable here. I was thinking maybe a lean, not an official play at all, but a lean to Sproat over 4.5 strikeouts at plus money because, again, he'll go for strikeouts here with the weather. He could get hit and get a lot of strikeouts as well anyway. And as far as the money line is concerned, very coin flippy, and it would have to have been Milwaukee or nothing at like plus 135. I'm assuming the line has moved in Milwaukee's favor. We'll check it out. But definitely thinking about over, but I haven't made any over bets. The only bet I made was Imanaga under outs. It'll be 17, and I'll make that official, 17.5 plus 129, unless we check here at Caesars and we see something better. Let's see what happened with the market. Let's see. Yeah, a tiny move to Milwaukee, but still, Chicago, a pretty decent-sized favorite, which surprised me a little bit. I mean, of course, Imanaga way better than Sproat in general overall. Things could be neutralized here. Nothing really noteworthy as far as the movement is concerned. No big moves there. Total, of course, is high. Opened at 10.5. It's right there at 10.5 now. All right, I might pull the trigger on Milwaukee here. What do you think about that, everyone? Look at that. AM Brewers. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Jermaine says Cubs 15 straight home wins. Cubs money line. Yeah, no, the Cubs, but there's something wrong. Shout out Nasty Nate. Nasty Nate says Cubs first 3. AM says Imanaga really getting roughed up today. I mean, he is a near elite pitcher, though, and sometimes elite guys. But, man, I remember when Brandon Webb was elite, and he would go, and it would be a bad weather day, and he'd go 6 innings and give up, 7 runs and shit like that, which would be bad here. That's the one thing I'm worried about, is that Managa gives up 8 runs, and they still have him go 6 innings. But I am getting a dog line. All right, I'll take it. I'm leaning that way, and I'll bet it, and I'm going to go on it with AM here. Brewers, Milwaukee Brewers, plus 143, current line at Pinnacle. Milwaukee Brewers, money line, plus 143. Really, I should take like the minus 1.5 at plus 205 or the minus 1 at plus 181. But no, we won't complicate it. Plus 143. The Imanaga outs prop, I am taking a shot with that one, so we're really going to want Imanaga to get touched at least a little bit. We'll see how it all turns out. Imanaga. Yeah, plus 129 outs prop. And then who knows what's going to happen with Sproat, but we'll see. Look at the comment section, and then we'll move on. All right. Jermaine pointing out that liking the Cubs, 15 straight wins at home. All right, let's move on. Next game on the card. I guess we got to pick the pace up a little bit, maybe. Texas and Colorado. Gore against Quintana. Quintana actually been not terrible in very short starts this year, despite bad strikeout to walk numbers. Gore, hard to get a read on off a great start, but he can definitely be more vulnerable on the road. Extreme fly ball pitcher as well, but it's going to be 40 degrees here at Colorado, so this might not be a bad spot for him. Also, possible rain here. I did take a shot with the under 10, minus 115, even though Gore, extreme fly ball pitcher, and Quintana is vulnerable at best. But I definitely took a shot with the under. Let's see where this line is. All right. Oh, wow. It's dropped. Okay. So now it's, I'll take 9.5 at minus 110 or 10 at minus 131 at the Pinnacle. All right. I'll take the 9.5 minus 110. I got it at 10. I'm not surprised that it's gone down. We'll look at the movement, and also it would be on the money line, no doubt about it. Colorado or nothing. It has moved small move in Colorado's favor, about 5 cents or so, which is what I would expect. Of course, Colorado started off the year pretty good. Recently, they've been bad, but in general, I think they should be okay in spots going forward. Texas, not too bad overall, but they're not really a juggernaut or anything. It's tough because Quintana, very vulnerable. And then Gore, yeah, I don't know. I just took the under 9.5 minus 110. Definitely a borderline official play. Hard lean towards Colorado Rockies money line at plus 131. But hey, I'll take that. I'll add that one on. What the hell? Colorado Rockies money line plus 131. We'll make that an official play. Jermaine likes Rockies money line. Yeah. Joey Leak. Hell yeah. Do I ever talk to Jeff Nadeau over the old SB? Yeah. No, I mean, Jeff, yeah, I mean, he's big time. If he wants to talk to me, I'd be happy to, but he won't answer my calls. I call his people all the time. They're like, Nadeau, it's Loshak. He's like, tell him I'm in a meeting. And they're like, he's in a meeting. I'm like, I know he's not in a fucking meeting, but it's nothing personal. He's busy. I wouldn't, if I was Jeff Nadeau, I wouldn't take my call either. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, Joey Leak. All right. Next game on the card. No, I'm kidding about that. Yeah. Of course we're friends. If we had any reason to talk, I'd talk to him all the time. Absolutely. He's doing his thing. I'm doing mine. Let's see. All right. That was all just shtick right there, by the way. All just shtick. All right. Next game on the card is Sacramento and the Angels. The A's and the Angels in against Urena. This one I did take a shot. Urena's last 3 starts, very decent. Probably got a bit hit lucky, but still. And I think he's probably going to be all right here. So I did take Urena over 4.5 strikeouts, minus 129. Smaller shot, but still took it over 15.5 outs at plus 117 as well. And also under 2.5 earned runs at minus 120. Took all of those. And, the A's, I mean, the Angels, they just got crushed by the Dodgers. They were showing a little bit of life, but they're still a shitty team. And the A's not so great. 2-4 on their recent homestand. Now they go on the road. So, the money line's not big enough for me to take the Angels. And Ginn is actually decent overall. His last 2 starts have been awesome. So he might be turning a corner. So I don't really want to bet against that. I just made 3 bets on Urena to have a nice little start. AM says this Angels team sucks. Obviously, yes. And let's see what the market has done, and then we'll move on. I think we got to pick up the pace just a little bit. Let's see. Yeah. Small move in favor of the A's, which is what you would expect. Nothing telling. And then the total, nothing really on the total either. Just a little bit of bouncing around. So okay, I will. I'll make some of that stuff official. Let's see where the Urena strikeouts prop is. 4.5 minus 116 at Pinnacle. That's not great to see, but all right, I'll take it. That's official. Urena over 4.5 strikeouts, minus 116. Outs prop is I got 117. Now that's down a little bit. So I'll make that one official plus 106. I think I like that one a little bit less than the strikeouts prop, but we'll see, because Urena could have a very, very nice but kind of high pitch count 5-inning start where you can get the win if they're up, and then maybe they'll yank them. But I'm making both those official. Urena outs over 15.5 plus 106. Although I'm going to check here at Pinnacle. I mean, at Caesars to see. Oh, plus 115. All right, still there. I'll take that one. Urena plus 115. And also the earned runs prop. I mean, they're all highly, highly correlated, of course. But I think, should be okay. Under 2.5 earned runs, minus 120. We'll make that one official as well. They're all highly correlated. But we'll see. Let's see if anyone in the comment section likes anyone. It says I'd leave the A's even if the A's got 10 off a tee. Yeah, it's hard to take the Angels, man. I'll take them, but you got to give me 180, not 115. Fuck out of here. Angels plus 115? No, 180. Or I'm taking my business elsewhere. All right. And Justin McKelvey likes Baldwin, 2+ bases plus 100. Okay. The next one on the card, White Sox in Seattle. This one is tough. Tell me what you think, right? White Sox in Seattle, Schultz against Wu. Now, Wu obviously is a stopper for Seattle. Overall, very excellent. Not usually lights out, but definitely awesome. But Seattle just got swept by San Diego. The White Sox just won 2 or 3 at the Cubs, and now they've won 7 out of their last 8. And Schultz is tough because high volatility. He has upside, still having walks issues. But how can Seattle, even with Wu starting, be like a minus 180 favorite against the White Sox? Just not really seeing it. It all comes down to what Schultz does. If Schultz is giving up walks, then yeah, probably Seattle gets up 3-zip or 4-zip. Definitely thinking about live betting the White Sox if they're down after the starters are out, depending on what the lines are and everything. But thinking about that, White Sox live bet if they're down after the starters are out. And we'll probably will, statistically, I even would like Woo under 4.5 hits at -125. But still, statistically, was definitely liking the White Sox at that big of a dog line. Didn't really bet anything. And the Woo 17.5 outs prop over at a big favorite line. I might be interested, but not at -215. Just too high there. All right. Let's see. What are people saying at this one? Swiggy Bet says Schultz almost a 5 ERA. Yeah, it's just because he has serious issues, But when his walks are not an issue, he suppresses hits and he's great. Yeah, AM saying White Sox are past. No doubt about that. Let's see. Let's look at the market on this one. All right, we got to pick it up a little bit, unfortunately, but we definitely wow. Okay, so there's been like a 20-cent move towards not 20 cents, about 10-cent move towards the White Sox since opening, and actually not that much bouncing around though. Just a 10-cent move at Chris towards the White Sox, and then the total, has let's see, about a 15-cent move to the under. Juiced open to Chris 7.5 -111 to the under, now -125. So that makes sense. Woo should be good. Schultz, the big question mark. Man, though, we don't have much time to hem and haw here. Otherwise, I would the White Sox +144 at Pinnacle. Man, that is just crazy. But if the White Sox do win, it's because Schultz has a nice little start there. So maybe his pitching props are just the best thing to bet if you're going to try to bet into it, just in case he pitches well, but Woo out pitches him, which is entirely possible. In which case, the under would be a great bet, which maybe I would make. Except, what if Schultz gets lit up and has 8 walks here? All right, I think I'm gonna. There's probably some stuff that I'll be on, but I think I'm gonna have to pass on everything. No official play for me here. Although I would love to take a shot with Schultz over 4.5 strikeouts, but can't do that either. And we're going to have to move on. All right. Jermaine likes the Yerfy in Seattle. Okay. Let's see. Next game on the card, MLB, picking it up a little bit. Dodgers in San Diego. Tell us what you think. Yamamoto against King. Of course, the Dodgers just crushed the Angels. 3-game sweep. San Diego, though, they returned from a trip. They swept the series at Seattle. And Yamamoto has gotten touched now in 4 straight starts, still getting strikeouts when he's gotten touched. King, overall, very good. 2 starts, he gave up a bunch of runs, but other 7 this year has been good. So maybe some of you Dodgers whisperers, tell us what to think, because obviously earlier in the year and at Pubapalooza, we were talking about it. We were like, just live bet the Dodgers anytime they're down by 2 runs or more. But then they went on the extreme losing streak the extreme mediocrity streak where they were way overvalued, and I picked against them a bunch of those games. Now, of course, they're off of a massive, just smashing of the Angels. So what Dodgers team are we likely to get here? And San Diego's a nice little team. I don't know if there's a starting pitching edge here for the Dodgers either. And so it would be San Diego or nothing for me. No doubt about that. And I also took a shot with King over 16.5 outs at -107, although maybe I'm wildly underestimating how good the Dodgers lineup is right now. But I did take a shot with King over 16.5 outs at -107. Definitely was thinking San Diego or nothing at the lines. And let's look at where the market has moved and what people in the comments section have to say about this one. And yeah, a small move towards San Diego, it looks like. Yeah, a 10-cent move from opening. Now they're down to +125, which is what I would expect, which is what I would think. Early money did come in on the Dodgers. Maybe that was some kind of misdirection. And then when it's open, not really. It's kind of recent that the move happened for. There was no one waiting for. That wasn't misdirection then. For the Dodgers, total. Yep, about a strong move to the under, a 25-cent move to the under, market wide. A little bit of buyback at like 5:30, about 15 minutes ago, but a strong move to the under, which is also what I would think. All right, so I took King over 16.5 outs. Definitely leaning Padres. Now it would be +121 at Pinnacle. Let's see where the King outs prop is right now. Yeah, 16 and oh my God, +126. Holy crap! I made a terrible bet there. Look at that. Let's see where Caesars is right now for King. Maybe I'll have to take 15.5 or get some kind of massive dog line. Maybe I'll give it officially anyway. But clearly, some huge money coming in on the under outs prop for King. So maybe they're just thinking that that he's going to get crushed here, or at least chased early. Whatever, let's go for it. We'll make it official. King over 16.5 outs plus 126. Current line at Pinnacle. Definitely San Diego money line at like plus 125 is a lean. Not going to make that official, but that's a lean. That's an official lean, but not an official recommendation. Plus 125. And then look at that. Look at the King. I know we got to pick it up. All right, I'm just looking at this. The King strikeouts prop. What is that? Yeah, look, 5.5. Okay. I was leaning King over 5.5 strikeouts at plus 110 as well. All right, I'm just going to take the outs prop and we'll see what happens. Let's see. No thoughts on San Francisco game? Yes, Shot Flush. We're about to talk about it right now. Let's talk about it. Okay, the San Francisco game. Oh, yeah, I do have opinions here. And maybe I'll make this one the official play. Ray against Gallen, San Francisco, Arizona. Roof open. Temperature mid to low 80s, no wind, low humidity. Gallen has definitely been vulnerable, got hit hard last 3. Ray, not too bad, but much more vulnerable on the road this year. So I was definitely thinking about overs, definitely thinking about Giants team total over. It would full game would definitely be Giants or nothing. First 5, definitely be Giants or nothing. Giants, of course, 4-3 on their current trip, but they won their last 2 at the A's and they split with the Dodgers. Arizona back from Colorado, they won 2 of 3. So definitely liking the Giants here as a dog, any which way you want to look at it. Also, slightly into Ray over 4.5 strikeouts at plus money. And definitely, Gallen under 17.5 outs as well, and Gallen over 2.5 outs at like minus 130. All those leans, those are all things I'm liking. Jermaine says open roof, nut flush. What do you think? Nut flush. Yes. All right. So I like San Francisco here. I got to decide what's officially here because we got 2 other huge games to talk about, and it looks like the line has moved where. Actually in Arizona's favor at Chris. Not a huge move, like a 5-cent move in Arizona's favor. What do you think, Nutflush Allen? It got all the way up to like 144, then dropped all the way back down to 138. Now it's back up a little bit. So again, the roof is open. Last I checked, unless they made some kind of late announcement, and it's dropped actually from 9.5 to 9. I'm pretty sure the roof's. that's what I saw. Maybe they last minute closed it. Oh no! Nutflush likes Arizona. Tell me. Tell me what you like, Nutflush Allen. He loves the unders. Okay. Really? Okay. Now I got to think about it. Gallen, he kind of sucks, doesn't he? Gallen sucks. Nutflush Allen, no. All right, you got 5 more minutes. I can't spend too much time hemming and hawing here. I'll take a shot with Robbie Ray over 4.5 strikeouts at plus 110. I'll make that official. And Gallen, really, is the roof open or closed? Wait, let me see. Let me do a quick check here. I did check this, and it's possible they changed it. I know we can't be. We got 2 huge games to talk about here. Where is it? It's saying. Where is it? Open. Yeah, roof open. That's at the official site. Okay. Wow. Nut flush, like in Arizona and the under. All right, you definitely want to trust Nut flush. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. It's fascinating. It's amazing. Now I can't wait to see how this game turns out. All right, I'm just going to stick with Ray over 4.5 strikeouts at plus 110. And I was thinking Gallen under 17.5 outs at like minus 105. I was thinking about that too, All right, we got to move on. We'll just take the Ray strikeouts prop. Shout out to Nutflush Allen. We'll see how this turns out. All right, now we got 2, obviously, playoff games. Huge. Spurs, OKC. I have no clue, right? OKC, obviously. They haven't lost yet, although they did win their last game by only 5. So there's that. Spurs lost once to Portland, twice to Minnesota. OKC laying a big number. The total's about 220. They played 5 times during the regular season. The Spurs did win 4 of them, and each game went to about 220, except for the one game where the Spurs blew them out by 20, 130 to 110. let's look at where this line has moved. I guess if you gave me a free play on the side, I put on the Spurs. Free play on the total, I put it on the under. But I don't think I can bet this one. So OKC's now 7. So it's now up to 7. So it's bounced around. 6.5, 7, 6.5, 7. We'll see where it is at tip. But as of right now, it's at 7. And the total has, jumped up a little bit. Look at that. A lot. Opened to 218.5. Got up to 220, 219.5, 220, now it's up to 221.5. So pretty clear market move to the over. I'm not really sure how much I agree with that, though. I'm not going to bet the under, but I'm not sure how much I agree with that. Tell us what you think, everyone, in the comments section. If anything, this is just going to have to be a pass for me. OKC is now 7. Free play, I put it on the Spurs. Total has gotten bet up from 218.5 to 221.5. But despite that, free play, I'd put it on the under. And then next game on the card, last game, Game 7, Montreal-Buffalo. Now, of course, the Habs could have clinched it in Game 6. They were a huge home favorite, like minus 180 or so. How could there be a minus 180 NHL favorite, even at home, for a Game 6 like that? That was crazy. And, of course, Buffalo won it 8-3. So now, Game 7, Buffalo's at home. They were a tiny favorite and a very low total of 5.5, slightly juiced to the under, which I first saw it, which is interesting in light of how, high scoring this series has been in general. But I was thinking, the series has been insanely high scoring, but now maybe Game 7, things change up. Or not, because this is what Buffalo does, right? They can just blast you offensively. Right now, line is right where it was when it opened. At Chris, it opened at 115. Now it's minus 116 for Buffalo. Although it went, it's just, So a tiny, 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 tiny move from opening in favor of Buffalo. Got all the way up to minus 125 at one point, and then came back down. And the total, again, it's been a very high scoring, series, especially in first period. So they weren't games where the first period went under and then they opened up. They were very high scoring from the get. And so this total has gotten bet up like 20 cents. At Chris, it opened at 5.5, under minus 130, over plus 110. And now the over is a tiny favorite. So like a 20 or 25 cent move to the over in this one. I don't know if anyone could take an under here, but maybe they can. Maybe I'll try to shock the world and take a first period under in this one. It's got to be, right? It's 6 o'clock. Tell us what you think, man. I don't really know. My lean is to first period under. And you know what? I'll try to shock the world, and I will make that one official. I don't have time to shop around and get a line, but damn it, I'll make that one official. And of course, it's got to be Buffalo or nothing here as far as the side is concerned, I guess. There's so many times when there's like a series where there's the road teams that are doing well, and then when it's Game 7, the home team, that's the better team with home ice advantage, pulls it out. Man, it's got to be Buffalo or nothing. So I guess it's lean Buffalo and official play, first period under 1.5. And that's it. Great show. Once again, everyone, thanks for everyone who joined in. And AM says Sabres win 4-0. Holy crap. Wow. Okay. And on that note, we'll wrap it up. Tune in on Wednesdays, 5 p.m. Eastern time, baby.
It's easier to sleep in the black. When you're losing your ass and feeling so, you know what to do. Tune in to Pop Sports Radio. Easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. It's a roller coaster ride, you're gonna catch a bad beat. No problem, keep your head up and just bet the spreadsheet. It's easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. All thanks to Jeff Slaughter, these shows have our backs. POD's always rolling, especially the stats. Easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. We got Jimmy, Jose, Dabby and the fam. Dutch wine time, Spooner and OG Wham. So hit the like button, don't say that you can't. If you know what's best, just put your money on tape.